in terms of the way the First Minister made her speech today. It took her 1,000 words, 4 pages, almost a third of her speech, before she set out even a single one of those measures, which tells us something of the priorities, that she'd rather get the excuses in first, rather than actually deal with what we can do with the powers that we've got. And likewise, we know the reason that we didn't have anything sooner than this in terms of proposals on the cost of living crisis, because this wasn't the plan. We all know what the plan was. We were going to have papers about the Constitution. They were going to be released one after another through the summer. I think we've had 2. Where are the other half dozen? Pulled, because the government recognised that was not the people's priority, that whatever claim you might want to make about the Constitution, that it will not deal with the issues people face here and now, that years and decades of constitutional wrangling do nothing to help people face the bills and costs that they have now, and that is the reality. But nor does this come without any context. The reality is that the wider economic situation in Scotland is one as a matter of concern. Indeed, I welcome Michelle Thompson raising the issues around rises in earnings and in productivity, because if we look at those measures, Scotland's recovery is lagging the rest of the UK. That is what the Scottish Fiscal Commission reports show, that the earnings growth is lagging not just the best performing parts of the UK, but the UK average, that our productivity has stalled since 2015. But where is the discussion of those issues in the programme for government? We have organisations like the WISE Group and the Joseph Rowntree Foundation calling for immediate action now on wage maximisation. Because there's a simple truth, a simple logic. We have both wage suppression but also labour shortages in our economy right now. So where's the direct action? How many people with a driver's licence could earn £40,000 just for want of the right training course? And it's not the only skilled trade that could be benefit from people. There are jobs out there, but a lack of direct action from the government to help people into them, removing the barriers that are in their way and help them into the training that they might need. But likewise, I'd also take issue with something Douglas Ross says. He said this is a programme for government full of political priorities. I don't think it is. We have some cost of living measures, but this is apparently a pared-down programme for government, one reduced to focus on the cost of living. And yet we have a number of measures that I would just question whether they are truly the priorities right now. We have reform of legal complaints. We have changes to the Charities Bill. Is this really the narrowing of focus on those direct costs, those direct challenges? Are those really the priorities in a pared-down programme for government? I would wonder. And indeed, we also have little detail on some of the major things that could make a difference. The care service. But frankly, if we look at this issue, we would reiterate our concerns about the introduction of a national care service. Are people out there clamouring for more centralisation, for better quality bureaucracy in care? No. They want clear, practical, pragmatic changes to the way that care is delivered. But none of those things are addressed in the government's current proposals. And indeed, I think it is shameful that government have reiterated its increase in pay for care of £10.50 an hour. Because frankly, the rejection of our calls to have an immediate increase to £12 an hour now sound very hollow indeed, when those same workers are struggling with the bills, given the extreme importance of the work that they do. But ultimately, this isn't a government that does transformation well. Again, whether you look at police or colleges, there is a rebrand but no investment. And unfortunately, it looks as though the National Care Service is headed in the same direction. And indeed, it sounds as though the SQA is headed for yet another rebrand with no substantial change and very little detail in this programme for government about what is planned. The simple reality is this, is people are not clamouring for more constitutional change, for a referendum bill. They want action now, help now, bills dealt with now, not a court case, not bickering, not attempts to start a campaign for an election that might not be with us for 18 months. They want a government that actually stretches every sinew to use every power to help them here and now with bills the likes of which they have never seen before. Quite frankly, that's not what we have in this programme for government. Thank you.